Hello again. This is the sixth video. In our previous video, we have completed database migration, and so we already have a project. In this video, we'll cover and we'll try to cover create complete a controller. So controller is the middleman. With the controller, currently we don't have any specific controller, only default home controller. As a middleman, controller will communicate with view and the database. We already have a database successful connection application DB context. Now let me start by creating a fresh controller. So we'll create a category controller. Already we have a category model, so we'll perform full CRUD operation using this model. Let me just create category controller and initiate the application DB context instance in the controller. So create add new controller. I'm just going to create empty controller, MVC empty controller add, and we have to set the MVC controller empty controller category controller. So we just empty controller. So and now I'm going to create a constructor and initiate the application DB context instance. So to create a constructor, you can use shortcut. You can use shortcut ctor and double tap. Sorry, ctor double tap. So we have a default constructor, and let me just add private read only application bb text already suggesting underscore context. In the default constructor, let me just add as a parameterized constructor. So we have to pass this. So we have a DB access instance. So using this instance, we can get all category, insert category, update category, and delete category. So DB is ready in the controller. So context is not used yet. That's why it's showing gray line. So we have a just default index, and if we run this project, then we don't have any data in the project. So for displaying grid view in the view, we are going to use a jQuery datatable. For jQuery datatable, we have to install a NuGet packages, and which package minimize the code, and using this package, we can simply perform sorting, searching, pagination in the view. So let me just go to install a NuGet packages database parcher NuGet. If we go to the browser and type data table parser, and latest version is 1.5.0, and I'm going to install using my terminal copy, and if I go back to my project, right click in the solution explorer and open in terminal. Paste. Installation process is going on, a data jQuery datatable parser. If we check the project, then yes, already installed. And if we go back to our controller, then now I am going to create a method which is data. that will get data for displaying in the view as a grid view. So index, we already have index, and that is return the view. And now I'm going to create a action public details like data for grid view, and let me just access category var list uh, slash context dot category. Yes, we have a category dot where condition. We will avoid the deleted rows. So I'm going to write lambda expression x slash dot x dot id. Sorry, cancel equals to false. Dot as I queryable for displaying data passing through the controller. Data table needs a I queryable list, and sorry, it will be as queryable. So we have a data. Now I have to return as a JSON as a parser. Let me just copy. So a parser, we already Visual Studio added the reference data table parser. So list category, just pulling a list from the database and mapping the into the parser into list and returning as a JSON. So this data will handle in the data table JavaScript file. I will explain in the further video. So we have a just index and the data for displaying in the view. So now I'm going to create details and add edit operation and delete operation one by one, so that you can understand each line of code in this content. So we have a grid data using this data parser. We will perform the display. So now we have to single data view like view and add edit and delete operation. Now I am going to create a details by ID, which is HTTP get. If I just copy code and explain to you, so HTTP get action result details and ID. So it is the context category first or default using lambda expression. I am I am getting the data from the database, which is single data. And if it is null, I will return not fellow. Partial view, we'll use the partial view for details. I will explain in the next video about the partial view, and we hope you understand difference between view and partial view. And the partial view start with underscore and complete view start without underscore, like dot index. If we go to the default, currently what we have like index is a view, and if go to the shared layout, this is the partial view. So we have a details now, and now we have to create like second option add edit. First, once we go into create add operation, then it will display. So once we're going to create a plus add button, then we will pop up a like window. That's window will perform that operation, and after inputting getting input from the user, then we have to press the save button. Then that will be another action. So we have to create two action. First, show the add edit window, and then save add edit user input into the database. So first will be HTTP GET operation. So add edit using the ID. So initially, once we're going to create add, ID will be 0. But if we going to edit, here is the edit, and we are putting data from the database and passing to the view. Here is another partial view, add edit, and if it is edit operation, then with the data we will display into the model, and it is add operation. A model will be empty and user will add their input. Now I'm going to perform add edit operation just for video smoother. I'm not going to type the add edit operation. I just copy and paste here. I will explain complete code here. So we have to create for performing the final result into the front end like view. It is success or failed. And now I have to create like JSON result view model, so that based on this view model we can decide the result. So view model, I'm going to create a new model, view model, into the model folder. Add folder or view, VIEW model model, view model, and add new class, which is JSON result view model. So we have a class. I'm just going to add the entity of this class. So alert message, we'll pass the alert message from the controller, current URL if required, as operation success failed, model object if model have some object. So if we go back to our controller, then JSON result view and using the view model. Hopefully this time there is no error. So initially we create an instance of the JSON result view model edit operation. So just we have a two if else condition. If it is id greater than 0, it will perform the edit operation. Else id is 0, it will perform the create operation. So we are getting user input here category, which is VM. Let me explain first the add operation. So passing the category user input to the category, which is already we have created the instance, and we are passing the created date, modified date, and created by, which is http context user dot identity is current user, login user, modified by will be same. And in the context dot add, which is entity framework core operation, and adding this entity into the database, and finally we save operation. After the save operation, we are returning the result category created successfully is success true, and passing this instant or object to the front end. So, and if it is fail, we are passing the failed, and the result is false. So hope you understand. Also in the, also into the catch operation, we are sending the false of false for success, so that we can display the for catch exception message into the pop-up. So I already explained the add operation. Now I'm going to explain the edit operation. So now we are going to explain the edit operation. So in the category instance, we are getting a single row by ID. So in the vm.id, if it is the edit operation, we definitely have a ID value, and we are this is the actual current value, and in the current value we I keep as it is. In the edited value in the VM, we are passing the created date, created by, and modified date, and modified by. So in the update context.entity, we are passing the current value, which is categories instance, and the new value is VM. So new value is a modified byte and modified date, and created date, we are not passing the created date created by from the front end. We are passing like category name and description, and that's why created date and created by will be default. So after that operation, we are performing context or save. This is the default entity framework for operation, and finally we are passing the database operation successfully. It we later video we can check in the sweet alert pop-up category updated successfully. Just remember, and based on this boolean type check, we will perform some if else condition in the front end with jQuery and JavaScript. So hopefully you understand the add edit operation we have covered in the single method. Now we have explained the final one, which is the delete operation. Delete operation is pretty simple, using the ID and HTTP header is HTTP delete, and using the ID we are getting the current row, which is current instance, and passing the modified date and modified byte, and we are not deleting data hard delete, we are soft deleting. Cancel equals to true. So this cancel means you have user is deleted. So later in the data, like grid view data, we are filtering the cancel equals to false. So that means deleted data not we are pulling for displaying data. So later I will explain this part again in the front end implementation. So cancel equal to false, context dot update. This is the entity framework core operation, and finally you have to make sure to save change. So and returning the result category. So this is the controller. So hopefully you understand the full operation: delete, update, display, view, and edit operation. And add edit operation we have performed in single method, and delete operation we have performed in another method, and view we have performed single get operation. And grid view for enter things we have prepared data, and let me explain in the next video how we are going to display data through the jQuery data table. So jQuery data table is most popular and faster for viewing grid view like paging, sorting, searching operation. So thank you for watching this video. We have a complete data now. Now I'm going to move to the next video, which will cover the most of the things is front end like data table operation, displaying data, delete operation, update operation, and also the create operation, same as with the default functionality of jQuery, paging, sorting, and searching. So thank you again. See you in the next video.